Hey VC, it's Mazzy here, and today's my birthday. So I realized there's not a lot of videos about female vocalists, about women vocalists. Yeah, they're thrown in, Chrissie Hynde, The Pretenders, or someone will throw in maybe a Linda Ronstadt record or an Emmylou Harris record or Aretha Franklin record. But I decided to put together a video of just some of my favorite good, bad, and schmaltzy female vocalists, women singers of the 1960s. Some just barely make it in the end of the 60s. I'm not doing girl groups. I'm doing pretty much solo artists, except for I think one instance. There's a group with a singer that's very influential and I think should be mentioned. But it's my party, so here we go. I think this is the first female singer single that I remember really wanting. Lesley Gore, right? What a great fucking song. You need to play loud. 1963 or 4, I think. Probably one of the first ones that I really remember getting into. And I think I had my mom buy me the single, pre-Beatles, by the way. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Okay, we'll phone you, Lesley. And now another one that was one of my favorites too. I think it was 64 or 5. I don't know all the dates here. I didn't do the research. I just want to play the friggin' music. But to me, this was a perfect, whoa. You don't give a shit, right? This to me is a perfect single.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown when you've got work.
Petula Clark. How cool was she? What a great single.
Downtown, just listen to the music on the traffic in the city. Linger on the sidewalk.
The most exciting song in years leads off a great hit album by the most exciting singer in years. Pet Clark, as they would call her.
Forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go downtown. Things will be great when you're downtown. No matter place for sure, downtown. Everything's waiting for you. Downtown.
Now, the next singer, and again, I'm not necessarily going in order. I may get lucky in a few things in order. But the next one I'm going to do is daughter of one of the greatest singers of one of the great American singers, Nancy Sinatra. And I'm not going to play These Boots just for the hell of it. I love this cover anyway. I had a little bit of a crush on Nancy.
They say the neon lights are bright on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air.
Produced by Lee Hazelwood.
But when you're walking down that street and you ain't had enough to eat, that glitter rocks right off and you're nowhere.
Wow. I mean, obviously it's a cover song, so not an original for her, but Hey, Nancy Sinatra made some great records. Great records with Lee Hazelwood, so I'm sure you've heard those. Some Velvet Morning. God, I could have played that, but I didn't want to go in that direction. But another singer, talk about schmaltzy, but one of the great vocalists from the late 50s into the 60s. Schmaltzy as hell, died recently, but this is pretty much her signature song.
When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what
Don't
she
laugh, this is
said
fucking
to
great.
me. Hey, Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see.
Que sera, sera. Hey, that's French for whatever will be, will be. And for you film buffs, you probably know, she sang that, and it was sort of a plot point, I believe it was, in the Alfred Hitchcock film, The Man Who Knew Too Much, actually his remake of his earlier version of The Man Who Knew Too Much. Doris Day and Jimmy Stewart, another example of Alfred Hitchcock loving his blondes. Now, another 60s ingenue who, if people don't know her, they should. I know she's been around here a little bit on the VC occasionally. I don't see a lot of her, but everybody here needs a Julie London in their collection. Cry Me River, her version of Cry Me River. Unbelievable, definitive.
Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you.
You know what's great about this? It's just it's her with Barney Kessel on guitar and Ray Leatherwood on bass, so it's a very minimal backup to her.
For being so
So Latin and Satin is another album you need to get, but this is a good one too. Look at that cover, right? Mazzy loves them redheads.
I cried a river over you.
Okay, one of the great movie themes ever. And one of the great vocalists also of the 60s, and a lot of people don't know this. This record was produced by George Martin, and you know George Martin was the Beatles producer. But one of the great singles ever, one of the great theme songs to a motion picture. Shirley Bassey, Goldfinger.
Goldfinger, he's the man with the Midas touch, a spider's touch, such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin.
Wow, right? Right? Jesus Christ, John Barry. I showed a John Barry album I picked up in Canada a few weeks ago. I don't remember that, but great score, great composer, arranger. Now, this is actually a duo, but obviously it launched the career of a solo artist. But to me, this song is what got me into that. And I bought this 45 at the time. I didn't get the album till years later. But to me, it's a perfect single produced by Sonny Bono. I Got You, Babe. Share. Share.
They say we're young and we don't know. Won't find out till we grow. Well, I don't know if all that's true, 'cause you got me, baby, I got you. Hey, I got you, baby.
Doesn't that oboe really make this track?
I got you, baby.
So influenced by Phil Spector. The Wrecking Crew, the backing track.
I guess that's so we don't have a plot, but at least I'm sure of all the things we done. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got flowers in the spring.
Hal Blaine on drums.
I got to wear my ring. I'm sad you're gone, and if I could stay, all is right. They'll say your hair's too long. I don't care. Do I care for wrong? Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't
Great
no
stuff.
mountain we can't climb. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you to hold my hand. I got you to understand. I got you to walk with me.
I just want this to play forever. What a great single. Hey, I'm paying my royalty. Fuck it. What a great feel-good single. And then the oboe comes in, and it goes on, and there's like a reprise, and it fades out. But what a great, great single. Sonny and Cher, but Cher. One of the great vocalists. Great personalities, obviously, you know that. But here's another one. One of the great, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, track 5. Let's see if we can get this on the cue. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, I'm not queued up here like a DJ. But Etta James, Tell Mama. Great, funky, soulful. This is a French comp from the 70s. Whoa. Okay, back-to-back Soul Sisters, but obviously now I need to, I needed to include, and I'm doing her first album here, first actually Atlanta record. She was more of a, prior to this, she was in the gospel music, gospel records for Columbia. But you all know the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Cover of the Rolling Stones, Satisfaction. I could play these records all night. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe this will go on all night. Obviously, I won't. Okay, this is the only full group I have here, but I wanted to sort of accentuate one singer, even though she's not necessarily prominent in this mix. But the singer is Mama Cass from the Mamas and Papas. Produced by Lou Adler. You know the Mamas and Papas, Mama Cass. Just larger than life in so many ways, but a great personality, a great singer. And, these Mamas and Papas records are great. And right now I'm in this whole 1969 phase. And this is a song, hopefully it'll get through here, that was in the Quentin Tarantino movie, but is not on the soundtrack to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But it's great. 12:30. Young girls are coming to the canyon, which is ominous in terms of the movie. Great song about Los Angeles.
Outside my window was a steeple with a clock that always said 12:30. Young girls are coming to the canyon, and in the mornings I can see them longing. I can no longer keep my life from.
Girls, 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 1960s.
Keep myself from talking.
Okay. ABC Dunhill Records, 1966, I believe, on that one, possibly, maybe 67. But now, this next one is, I don't think I've seen anyone maybe show her work in the VC. From the 70s, she died way too young. If you don't know her, you probably know her song. Everyone from Barbra Streisand to Blood, Sweat, and Tears covered her songs. Great singer, great songwriter. Laura Nyro on Columbia Records. I'm playing this song. Blood, Sweat, and Tears made this song famous. And When I Die. Laura Nyro, Columbia Records. The first songs. Might as well let it fade out. Anyway, great singer, songwriter, died way too young. And of course, one of the great albums that was included in my and many other 50th anniversary from 1969. And this is one of the greatest singers of the 60s ever. Dusty Springfield. British. You wouldn't know it from her music.
There was a preacher's son, and when his daddy would visit, he'd come along. When they gathered around and started talking, that's the brother would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach
This is a perfect album. Everybody needs this record in their collection, Dusty in Memphis.
Being good isn't always easy, no matter how hard I try. When you started sweet talking to me, you come and tell me everything is alright. You kiss and tell me everything's alright. Then I get away here tonight. The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man.
Great, great song. Before I play, I'm going to end up with one artist that kind of just gets in the wire. Was in a group in 1967, but started making solo records in around 69, I believe, 68, 69, but really didn't come into her own in terms of famous throughout the world, aside from that early single in the 70s. But before that, a commercial. My friend Amanda gave me this a number of years ago, Yeah Yeah Girls. Yeah Yeah Girls is a great book, and I'm into French, ingenue pop, French pop. It's great singers like Francois Hardy, Bridget Bardot, Jane Birkin, a lot of things that were sort of influenced, produced, and involved with Serge Gainsbourg. But the Yee Girls, sort of the French pop wave. I didn't include their records here. I don't know why. It just didn't seem part of this particular group. But that's a Jane Birkin. You know, the beautiful young, the French ingenues of the 60s. But a great other genre that I could get into and do a whole video on that. So, closing out, I'm going to close out with a song by a group called the Stone Ponies. And it was a song written by Michael Nesmith of the Monkees. And those of you in the know already know what I'm going to say. This is from a collection. I don't have their specific album. But this is Linda Ronstadt with the Stone Ponies, Different Drum, written by Michael Nesmith. Again, a perfect